Today I wanted to share with you some foundational thoughts about the Hebrew Bible. The Hebrew Bible is divided into 3 sections, and this is known by the acronym Tanakh. Tanakh stands for Torah, Nevi'im, and Kesuvim. Torah means the law, the 5 books of Moses in which God gave all the commands to the Jewish people. In the other sections of the Bible, there are no new commandments. The second section of the Hebrew Bible is called the Nevi'im, the prophets. The prophets is the most painful section of the entire Tanakh. You see, inside of this section, it lists basically every single mistake the Jewish people ever made. Especially if you read the book of Judges, you can read this book and you think, oh my gosh, what were these people thinking? They were crazy. What's really important to note is that it took somebody doing something really, really noteworthy in order to make it into the Tanakh. These evil behaviors that are recorded inside of the prophets, they are for us to learn from what not to do. Inside the prophetic section is the area that the prophets called out the people who were doing these evil behaviors and exhorting them to change. There were times that incredibly large swaths of the Jewish people were doing bad things, such as in the days of Achav, when most of Israel were bowing down to the Baal idol. And yet, even at that time, there were 7,000 people who did not bend the knee to the Baal idol. Despite the overall failing of the Jewish people, there have always been a righteous remnant who were dedicated to serving God and who preserved the authentic teachings of His Torah. Ultimately, that righteous remnant has preserved the Jewish people and the authentic teachings of the Torah. The third section of the Hebrew Bible is called the Kesuvim, or the writings. These writings illustrate how the Jewish people got back on track after doing something terrible. And it also illustrates a way for us to get back on track. You have the Proverbs, you have the Psalms, you have ways to connect to God, to further develop the relationship, in addition to the laws that we keep inside of the 5 books of Moses. All of these together form a complete picture of how Jewish life should be. We have the things that we're supposed to do, we have the things that we should not do, and we have the things that help inspire our relationship with God. Now, a really important point to mention is that the Christian Bible is not structured the same way as the Hebrew Bible. While the Hebrew Bible ends at the book of 2nd Chronicles, the Christian Bible mixes up this order and ends on the book of Malachi. The redactors of the Hebrew Scriptures wanted you to believe that the Hebrew Bible ends with Malachi because it speaks of the coming of Elijah, and of course that feeds into the book of Matthew inside of the Christian Scriptures, but this was never the intention of the Hebrew Bible. If you want to learn more about the Hebrew Scriptures and what they really say, like, subscribe, and keep on following.